Warehouse Health and Safety. My name is Jonathan Cunningham from Storm Consultancy, and we're here, as you can see, on site in a warehouse. In the next 3 to 5 minutes, I'm going to show you some of the key considerations if you're responsible for health and safety. Indeed, if you're just a manager on site, a number of considerations. First and foremost, make sure you've got sufficient documentation in terms of risk assessment, safe systems of work. Make sure your staff are suitably trained. Make sure you've got good audits in place, and also make sure that you have good management systems in place. Some of the key considerations, as we see here, is vehicle and pedestrian impact. This is one of the biggest causes of fatalities in warehousing. It's the loading bays, it's the external areas you see here. And this comes from a number of reasons. First, you can see the forklift trucks behind us. Make sure that staff are suitably trained. Make sure you've got banksmen. Make sure you've got good delineation between pedestrian lanes and also sort of vehicle lanes. But crucially, make sure that the speed is kept down. When offloading, the likes of side loaders here, make sure that the loaders themselves are routinely inspected, because a number of these can collapse if not routinely maintained. Also, make sure that banks persons are suitably trained on site. This has been the cause of a number of fatalities because of people being crushed next to barriers, or indeed just rolling stock or trailers rolling back. I'm now going to take you into the warehouse, because the second greatest area of concern is that of racking. So I'm just going to take you over here at the moment. So as you can see here, we've got a large warehouse with huge racking left and right. One reason why you may well have a fatality or serious incident is with the unexpected collapse of racking. This can normally happen because of forklift trucks moving too fast. So make sure that your warehouse and your racking is subject to periodic 6-monthly inspection by a competent inspector. Certainly once a year it needs to be an independent inspector who will check every single piece of racking. And this includes the likes of safety bolts are correctly fitted, that it is correctly signed, that the loading is correct for the type of stores and equipment that you're actually sort of storing on the racking, is making sure that there are foot protection, as you can see here, foot protection with suitable signage, because that is going to be the biggest concern you have. Other considerations in the warehouse is fire. You don't always have to have a fire detector system fitted, but arson is one of the greatest risks to any sort of warehouse. People getting in, starting a fire, and particularly outside where you might have skips or waste rubbish. Make sure it's sufficiently away from the premises. So make sure you've got good CCTV, lighting, etc. Other considerations will be the likes of manual handling. There's a number of items here that you might see around me, but manual handling will be a big concern. Make sure the staff are suitably trained, make sure you have suitable risk assessments in place, and there will be specific manual handling risk assessments. More often than not, because you've got forklift trucks, this will be your main means of moving things around. Other considerations will be pest control in and around the warehouse. Other concerns is how do you manage access control, access and egress into it, so having a good and suitable signing in. Make sure that the racking and your products are suitable. These ones here are signed off to be stacked 3 and in some signs 4 high, but make sure you have something from the manufacturers that is permitted. Other areas of concern will be making sure that you've liaised with your tenants. That might be left and right or up and down, but making sure you have a good liaison with other tenants in and around you, because they themselves will also be people who could influence your safety on site. So these are just a few areas. If you still have concerns, then please get in touch with us. It's stormconsultancyuk.com, or indeed just click the link here and download the free checklist for warehouse health and safety. It's been Jonathan Cunningham. It's an absolute pleasure. So please get in touch, and we'll see you soon.